63 years old Babu Kaji is picking up what's left of his life. Like most Nepali, the devastating earthquakes took everything.
We have had some help in terms of food, but I'm worried about the future. What will happen next?
He lives in the village of Sangku, where his house, along with 80% of the structures here, were destroyed, and over 100 people perished. This village was one of the first villages that received any aid from the government and NGOs. But 3 weeks after the earthquake, people are still living outside, sleeping on the streets, and risking their lives surrounded by these unstable buildings. And they are still left without any proper hygiene facilities. The government is mobilizing help across the country, but facing an unprecedented scale of the disaster and terrain, it has been struggling. But in a show of solidarity, many local communities have sprung up to provide some relief, like this local church group who have been risking their lives doing small-scale rescue missions in the area.
It's all volunteers. We are just doing this to help keep the people safe from these damaged buildings, just to provide some relief.
Or this local community that helps to feed anyone who needs it, here at this tent city, 7 days a week. This sentiment is shared by many volunteers from across the world, like these 4 doctors who are driving across Nepal from New Delhi, offering their medical skills to anyone who needs it.
There is a possibility of food poisoning, colic, is the stomach pain, plus loose motions, plus vomiting. These are the main symptoms. That is due to the lack of fresh water supply or purified water supply or food, because the people are taking fermented food also, and there is a lot of infection which is coming from the fermented bodies.
The joint efforts of not just the government and volunteers, but also the international world will be crucial in helping to save this country in crisis. That's right. As you've seen there, a lot of this slack that's been picked up by local communities have been filling in the gap. But obviously, these kinds of small efforts is significant, but it will need a bigger and more coordinated effort from the government and the local communities and the international world to help this many people in crisis here in Nepal.